What's up, guys? You know who it is. Marcus J. Jackson with another Live Life episode for you. Okay? And today we're going to identify 6 ways, all right? 6 ways to tell if someone is battling depression, all right? 6 ways to identify someone who may be battling depression, all right? Shout out to my YouTube family out there. All right. If you have not subscribed, go to my YouTube channel, Marcus J. Jackson, and subscribe. There is a wealth of information on there, so feel free to look at those videos. All right. And if you are with us today and you are on the fence about suicide, committing suicide, or just you have this urge to transition yourself, I would invite you to stay with us for this entire hour and gain the knowledge necessary for you to deal with any situation that you may be going through. All right. If you're in danger of hurting yourself or anyone around you, please call 911. All right, and get you some help. If you need to talk to someone immediately, dial 1-800-273-8255. That is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. All right. There's also a wealth of resources that I've put in there as well. So if this number does not work in your country, please find the number that better suits you, or your local emergency number will help. Okay. If you want to reach out to me, I make myself available every night between the hours of 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. Okay? Give me a call at 469-626-7486. Again, that's 469-626-7486. All right? And if I do not answer the phone, please leave me a message. I will call you back. All right? Keep in mind, if you call me, you can call me whenever, 24/7. It doesn't matter. However, if I don't answer the phone, please leave me a message, because during the day I'm a realtor and I'm also a life coach. So I may not be able to answer the phone right away, but leave me a message or leave me a text message. I will get back to you either way. Okay. What else? Okay, I think that's it. So we're going to get rocking and rolling real quick and get this going. All right, shout out to all my veterans out there. All right. This Live Life series is dedicated to one of my buddies who decided to take his own life. And we spent some time in the Army together. Veterans go through a lot, so my heart is always out to them. Shout out to all of my brothers on the police force, wherever you are, doing whatever it is you do to keep this world safe and things of that nature. I know things can be difficult. I know decisions can be tough, and making split-second decisions is highly stressful. So I know what you're going through. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Do what you got to do to make it home to your family. All right. Let me see my quick shout outs to my chats before we get started. Okay. What's going on, Vic? Hello, Jay. Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, Chad? Okay. And Miss, I want to say Balkeys. I hope I pronounced that right. How y'all doing this morning? All right. So let's take a second, take a deep breath. All right. Before we get started, I want everybody to be grounded and present. Let me cut my fan on because it's a little hot off in here. Okay. Take a deep breath. All right. Focus your mind. Be present in your body at this moment in time. All right. Breathe it in. Right? Release everything that happened today. What happened yesterday, it's already over. Okay? There's nothing you can do about it. We can't go back and change it. So let's focus on being in the present. Take another deep breath. No need to worry about the future because it has not even happened yet, okay? Take one more deep breath. Ground yourself. Wrap your feet around the center of the earth. Okay. All righty. All right, now let's get started, people. I identified 6 ways to identify with, you can see these signs in someone that may be battling depression. All right. And a lot of times we may be depressed and don't even know why. Or we may be depressed and we don't even know that we're depressed. And some of my clients, I will, especially when I'm first meeting them or I'm first getting to know them, there's a phase of denial. So they're in denial about the way that they feel, and it's because you don't want to. You think there's something wrong with the way that you feel, so you don't want anybody else to know that you feel that way, right? So I want you to, although, we don't want everybody, we always want everyone to be happy and we want everyone to, live their best life and so on and so forth, but you have to be able to be real. You have to be able to live in a realistic, type of way. And depression is real. Suicide is real. And these are things that mental health is something that needs to be talked about, something that you need to discuss, and there should be many of platforms like this where people can talk and leave comments. They can reach out to somebody and talk about the way that they feel. There's, like I said, I'll put resources in the description as well. But because of the stigma that's tied to mental health and something always has to be wrong with someone if they feel a certain kind of way. They're afraid of being labeled and things of that nature. So they avoid talking about the way that they feel, right? And you feel these overwhelming amount of emotions because you can't talk about them, right? You feel them, you can't release them, right? There's nothing you can do to get it out, right? Because you want to hide. We have a tendency to hide the way that we feel. And if someone reveals the way that they feel or that they're struggling with some type of emotion, then we label them as something being wrong with them, right? Which them holding in the way that they feel puts them in a situation that they've been in time and time again. And you're wondering why you struggle with depression. No wonder people are anxious and suicidal and, ready to check out because there's no outlet. There's no outlet for anybody to do anything. It's almost like you have to walk around the world like a robot. You can't feel anything because if you are in touch with your emotions or you feel emotion or you display emotion, then you're weak. And, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. There's nothing wrong with you. If you have struggles with depression or anxiety, or you want to transition yourself, you no longer want to be on the life side, I get it. I get it. However, before you do that, take a moment and go through go through my timeline and look at the videos. Go to my page, click on the videos, and go through those videos, all the Live Life series. Please look at those and just reevaluate your thought process about wanting to transition yourself. Okay, reevaluate that thought process. Reevaluate that thought process. Also, you can go to my YouTube channel. Marcus J. Jackson is my YouTube channel as well. Go on there. Like I said, there's a wealth of information that you can look at And, you know, I got some motivating stuff on there. I got some hard hitting stuff on there that, you know, that brings you back into touch with reality. Okay. So with that being said, let's begin. All right. One of the ways that you can identify within yourself or someone who may be battling depression is that no matter how much sleep you get, right? And I know some people may be able to relate. No matter how much sleep you get, you're always tired. Like no matter what, you can sleep 4 hours, you can sleep 8 hours, you know, you can sleep 12 hours, and you wake up and you're still tired, you're still fatigued. You know, you don't want to get out of the bed, you don't want to do anything. Your motivation is just, you know, not there, right? That is. And it is everybody who can't sleep or, you know, have trouble being, you know, with getting energy going. Does that mean they're depressed? No, you know, that's not the case at all. However, if you don't know why, you know, whenever you sleep 8 to 12 hours or however long you sleep, and you don't know why you're not getting any rest, or, you know, and it's just happening for no reason, and it was all of a sudden thing, you began to get, you know, you begin to sleep, your regular pattern of sleep is going, and it becomes inconsistent, right? It becomes inconsistent, and you don't know why you can't get you can't get that restful sleep, right? There may be something, you know, going on. It could be a traumatic experience that happened. It could be, you know, you could just legitimately be very, very tired. All right. But where the red flag comes in, if that's happening on a consistent basis over and over again, each night, you know, and it's going on for weeks, you know, maybe months, and you've never ever been able to sleep and actually feel relieved or revived, you know, that feeling of rejuvenation when you are, you know, when you wake up, but you're still tired and you're still fatigued. Okay, that's something that needs to be addressed, and something that you need to do to take care of that. So, and towards the end, I will definitely identify things that you can do to battle depression so that you can conquer it. All right. So always be observant of anyone that you may suspect, you know, maybe battling depression. Be observant of their activities, right? Because we know that we have to be aware that people who experience a great deal of depression or anxiety, right, they fit the mold or fit the description of those who may be at risk for suicide. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and you know, like, I don't know, just be observant. All right. And I also want to mention this as well, or bring this up. If you're on the opposite side of it, and you have attempted, you know, suicide at some point in time, right? I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. Suicidal thoughts are, believe it or not, are common. Okay. Especially with the world that we live in. You can become so overwhelmed at times that suicide is the only alternative. You know, you can feel like that's the only option. You can feel like that's the only alternative. It's not that it's the only alternative, but you know, you feel like that, and you feel like there's nowhere to turn. You feel like there's nobody who will listen. You feel like there is everybody is against you, and everything that you do is wrong. Okay, I'm here to tell you that could be far from the truth. That's not it at all. Okay, everyone doesn't have the ability to, or no, not the ability, but everyone doesn't know the techniques that you can use, or you know, the things that I'm going to mention, the ways to help. You know, everybody wasn't afforded that information growing up, because talking about mental health, it was just so taboo, or you always ignored the person who had, the mental health issue. And I can remember growing up, you would, as a child, I would ask, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out like what's wrong with this person. So I asked my mom and dad, what's wrong with this person or that person, when I see them doing something that's abnormal, that we feel is abnormal. As a child, I felt was abnormal. Why is he walking down the street talking to himself? Like, why is, people in my family, like, why can we not talk to them? Why do we need to stay away from them? It was just, I don't know. It was just weird, and it was never discussed. And as I got older, I realized that, what? There was something wrong with, Uncle Bobby and, Uncle Billy. Like something was wrong with them in my, in our thought process, in our psyche. We're like, yeah, we readily identified them as something being wrong, right? So, and not that there was anything wrong per se, but that was a mental health issue that was, swept under the rug. Like it was just taboo to talk about. Don't talk about it. Just ignore them. Don't pay no attention to them. So you got a whole family of people, somebody struggling with, mental health. We don't even know, as a child, we don't even know what's wrong with them. We just know we got to stay away from them. Or they might burst out with something, or they have a emotional outburst or something that's going on, and something happens, and the family labels the person crazy. Oh, Uncle Billy, he's crazy. Uncle Bobby's crazy. So, just stay out his way and all that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, wow, that was crazy. I wish it was something, I wish people were able to talk about mental health and, express the way that they feel, and without having, having to be judged, and people, I don't know. I think it's a tough world that we live in, when you can't, you can't even feel a certain way without being judged. So, but on this platform, I am offering judgment-free feedback. All right, I will listen in a judgment-free manner. Okay, then this is a judgment-free zone. So now, we don't think there's anything wrong with you here. Not on Live Life. That's not what we do. So feel free to comment. Feel free to inbox me. Feel free to reach out to me. And if you need some help right now, you want to talk to someone. As we're talking, you want to hop off the video and talk to someone right now. Call 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 800-273-8255. All right. So number 2, the second way you can identify someone who may be battling depression is they have very, very low self-esteem, right? They have this lack of confidence about them, right? And they're very insecure about things. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no insecurity that's greater than the other, all right? People, being insecure and having low self-esteem is ideally something that you don't want to have to experience, right? Nobody wants to have low self-esteem. Nobody wants to lack confidence. It's just because you've had to hide and be in this state of mind where you have to suppress these things from fear of being judged. We're in a fear-based society. We live in a fear-based society. We have fear-based belief systems, right? So of course, but we have these things, like the fear-based society, fear-based belief system, and we wonder and we think something's wrong with the person who has low self-esteem, or the person that lacks confidence, we think something's wrong with them. So we're in a fear-based society, right? We have fear-based belief systems, but we think something's wrong with the person who doesn't have confidence or low self-esteem. It's like, I don't, it's like, how, I don't know. How backwards is that? Like, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. But if you see someone that is clearly that they have low self-esteem, right? I would invite you to, try to build a relationship with them. Let them know you might be the person that pulls them out of, that low self-esteem mindset, and talking to you may give them confidence. Okay. There are times when everybody has a little bit of, you're lacking confidence, but the difference is those who deal with that, and press on, as opposed to those that allow that low self-esteem and lack of confidence to hold them back. Okay. And the fears are many. You can be, there's so many things that you have to live in fear of, quote unquote. And if you don't find a way to deal with these things, you'll always have low self-esteem. People will always run over you. You'll have that inability to stick up for yourself. It's a very lonely feeling. Okay, it's a very hopeless feeling as well. And you think that because somebody's quiet, they have low self-esteem, and it works kind of the opposite, right? Someone who like bullies. I did a video on bullies not too long ago. The bully suffers from lack of confidence and low self-esteem. So he seeks to uplift himself or herself in, picking on or poking fun at other people, or, that's just the way that they are, right? So identifying the person who has low self-esteem or lack of confidence is not the person who's always quiet, and by themselves and just not really talking to everybody. That's not necessarily the case anymore. It is, somebody who always has to gain. It's the person that has to be the center of attention at times. When they're around a crowd of people, they have to be the center of attention. But if you know those kind of people, they're very, very quiet, very laid back when it's just them and you're talking to them one-on-one by themselves. That's a way. Now, does that one size fit all? No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that these are things that you want to look out for, because a lot of people that are very, very popular, very, very what we would call beautiful, suffer with low self-esteem. It's just I don't know. It's just a pattern that I found even in entertainment. An entertainer has this, great and wonderful life on the outside, and let me fix my camera up here. There we go. They have this great and wonderful life on the, on the outside. They're living the life, and they're doing, they're flashing the money, and, the glamorous clothing, and the glamorous cars and houses and so on and so forth. But deep down inside, they're depressed, right? They have low self-esteem. They lack confidence, and the only thing that they can do is find a character or a role that they want to identify with and be a part of, and in that moment, in that role, they can be that person with confidence. They can be that person that doesn't have low self-esteem. All right. So that is a very, very real situation. And I'm not saying all actors and entertainers in the Hollywood world. I'm not saying that's all of them. All right. But, I've coached a number of well-to-do people, and they are, I'll be the first to tell you, they have some of the same problems that the lower income people have. Okay, so again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you need to be educated or become knowledgeable of the tools to use to avoid feeling this way, right? Or if you are feeling this way, you have to be able to have tools to pull yourself out of that situation, okay? Just like you need a ditch you need a shovel to dig a ditch. Once you dig the ditch, you got to have a way to climb up out of it, or a ladder or a stool or something like that to gain some footing to climb up out of the ditch, all right? You just need the tools to use to help you through that situation, okay? So let me check the comments. All right. Okay, cool. Number 3, right? The inability to concentrate, right? And this was kind of tricky, right? Especially identifying another one. This may be more so readily identified within yourself. If you are, for example, you can't complete a book, right? You can't sit down. You can't complete a thought, and you bounce from one thought to the other. You can't really concentrate on what it is that you're doing. It takes you twice as long to do something that you used to be able to do in a matter of moments, but all of a sudden it's taking you 5 to 10 minutes, all right, to do these things. Excuse me. And these are, and this, just to clarify, these are things that you notice, within that have recently happened, all right? Things that just kind of come up. Not if this is the way you've always been, okay? Then that's another video. All right, that's another video. But these are things that you noticed, right? You're noticing that here lately, I haven't been able to concentrate, or I haven't been able to sleep, or I haven't been, as confident as I used to be. All right, these are things that, are changes that you want to be aware of now. If you've just been the person that you always, you can always identify with these, then that may be something that needs to be dealt with on a different level, okay? But if you have an inability to concentrate and your attention span just won't allow you to concentrate, all right? This is an onset, all right? This is an onset. It just kind of happened over, maybe a few weeks' time or a couple of months' time, right? And you can readily identify that, okay? So, if you can't complete a book, right, and you can't complete a thought, or you just kind of forget what you're writing down all of a sudden, or you'll be doing something or talking about something and you just completely lose your train of thought, and you're like, what was I finna go do? Or what was I talking about? Just have that brain fog, right? Is something wrong per se? No. Like I said, you just need the tools to be able to counteract that, to be able to fight that with. All right. So concentration is extremely powerful, right? It's extremely powerful. People say if you concentrate on something long enough, you're able to do it, or you're able to figure it out, right? When you concentrate, you tap into your critical thinking skills, right? And it requires immediate concentration, right? Or split-second decision making. That's where your concentration comes from. And if you're unable to do those things, and you've been able to do those things in the past, but now, things are different. Like I said, it could be, a traumatic experience. It could be a life-changing situation. It could be a financial situation. it could be a social situation that brought this onset of feelings and emotions on, right? So if you notice that in someone, or you notice that in yourself, you have to be, don't deny it, okay? Identify it. That's the purpose of, platforms like this, to help you identify these things and to let you know that there is something that can be done about it, right? There is something that can help. And it's a temporary situation. It doesn't have to be that way all the time, all right? There's things that you can do that can help you out of that, all right? None of these things, none of these issues, these identifiers, right, are permanent, all right? There's always a way. There's always an alternative. There's always another option, okay? And I know these things can be overwhelming at times, and I know, we feel like that suicide is the only answer. It feels like it's the only option, and there's no other way out, okay? But again, I'm here to tell you that that's so far from the truth, all right? You just have to have the tools to be able to pull out of situations like this, all right? And clearly, if you've been with me for, the last 30 minutes, this is, clearly a divine intervention or divine synchronicity for, you to click on this video and maybe address some of the things that you've been, going through or need help with, all right? Please, if you need to talk to someone right now as we're talking, dial 1-800-273-8255. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, okay? If you are in danger of hurting yourself or someone else, please call 911, all right? And get you some help. They can help you. They also have resources that you can tap into as well, all right? If you need to talk to me, after this video, my contact number is 469-626-7486. You can call or text me on there. I will call you back, or I'll text you back. Please leave me a message. If I do not answer the phone, leave a message. I will call you back, all right? This is a very informal platform. All I ask is, we just stay respectful if you make a comment, because this is a very delicate situation. People, keep in mind that, people that may be going through things like this don't want other people to know, all right? And they have a lack of trust for people per se with their information, or, the way that they feel vulnerable. And, they want to talk to someone they can trust. So if you know of anybody that may identify with any of these things, talk to them. Spend a little extra time talking to them if you have it. Reach out to them, offer to spend some time, offer to listen to them, or you could just ask, hey man, is everything okay? Are you feeling, I noticed you might be feeling some kind of way because, you lost your train of thought, and you've been doing that for the past couple days, right? I noticed that you've been sleeping, especially in intimate situations, your spouse or someone that, lives in and their sleep pattern, and you realize or you notice that they been sleeping, a good 8 hours, and they get up and they're still tired. Or on the flip side of that, let me also add that if you have someone that's sleeping for hours, for an extended period of time, every night now, or every day, they stay in the bed longer and longer, right? That's also a flag as well. We need to be mindful of that. So just notice, just kind of keep your, now that you've learned these things, you have some tools in the pocket to build with. Just be mindful and observant of it. So, and I need to step away and get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, like I said, this is a very informal platform. So, yeah, I had to give me something to drink. So yeah, I'm pretty informal. If I speak somewhere, I'll stop in a minute and be like, hey, can somebody grab me some water? And if nobody brings it, I'm gonna probably step down off the stage and go get it myself. Okay. Or my wife will bring me some. But yeah, I'm very informal because I feel like, everybody's all, stiff and uptight and, things have to be this way and they have to be that way. And, if it doesn't work out the way I want it to, if it doesn't look the way I want it to, if it's not perfect, I'm so over that. I'm so beyond that. I feel like what we're dealing with is very, it should definitely be taken seriously, but at the same time, I'm not going to, I'm not going to place judgment on somebody who has come across some flaws in their life, right? And I think a lot of times because we're so rigid and we're set on things should be this way or things have to be that way, I think that's why we're in the situation that we're in now, right? Because society, the collective conscious, thinks things should have to be a certain way, so we have to adopt the thought process as well. No, I don't believe that. I don't subscribe to that. So, if you need to get up and go get you some water or do something while you're doing a live or a YouTube video, then you do it. Okay. Okay. Moving on to the concentration. So if you just clicked on the live, we talked about number one. If you feel like you're getting enough sleep and you wake up and you're still tired, you still have a great deal of fatigue, right? Number two, the number two way to how to identify if someone is battling depression is low self-esteem or lack of confidence, right? And number three, the inability to concentrate, right? Brain is just kind of scattered all of a sudden, right? So the number four thing, right, is something that I work with. I work with people because I'm a health and wellness coach as well. I'm also a trainer. That's kind of the same thing. It's funny how we got all these different titles, right? And I don't know how to incorporate everything that I do into one title, right? So I have an array of clients, a very diverse range of coaching, because I have some youth that I coach, I have adults that I coach, I also do relationship coaching and life coaching, career coaching. There's a lot of things that as a coach that I do, and I'm just like, wow, I'll be like, man, what is, I think about what don't I do? It's like, and some people are like, oh, he's all over the place and, he does so many things and does so many that, focusing on one, why isn't he focusing on one? He seems, people do that. And it's just like, well, people need help on various platforms, right? So I can't just limit myself to being a coach for the youth or limit myself or for being a life coach for the adults, right? What about the adults that have life per se taken care of and they just need to, they need to know how to work out, right? There's a lot of people who, they have this stuff together, right? They've got everything together, but they just don't have the tools to implement, the change that they desire in their life, right? Not everybody's, in tip-top shape that decides to get their life together. Not everybody who has the best career knows how to tackle life. There's so many things that you can that you can help people with, if you just have the desire to. And I have the desire to, all right? So I'm just, hey, I'll help as many people as I can help, all right? So weight changes, right? And because I'm a health and wellness coach, and a trainer, a lot of people, I've watched people lose weight. I've watched people gain weight at the lowest point in their life and at the highest point in their life. And a lot of times, it is the depression or anxiety or the mental state in which they're in that brings them to this, that brings them to me in the first place. And they come to this point in their life where, hey, I want to do something different. I want to get in shape. I want to, change my body, because of, it could be because there's a divorce, or they want to, be healthier, and they want to look better, right? And in that comes dealing with those who may be suffering with depression or suffering with anxiety and things of that nature. And these are patterns that I've realized that need to be addressed. The sleep issues, low self-esteem, and, the inability to concentrate, right? Those things need to be balanced when you're trying to lose weight, right? So it kind of works. The mind, body, and soul is one to me. I in my opinion, they're one. Mind, body is one. They work, hand in hand. And a lot of times, people who are suffering with depression, one of the ways that you can identify it is if they're going through a weight gain or a weight loss, right? And it's clearly that they are not, they're not doing anything to make that happen, right? So a lot of people who go through a divorce, like I said, they will gain a tremendous amount of weight, because, you just get, to be honest with you, I've been divorced, and to be honest with you, that becomes a coping mechanism. Eating becomes a coping mechanism. Drinking becomes a coping mechanism, right? And, you don't necessarily make the best eating habits, the best choices of food to eat. So, you're gonna gain weight. And when you gain weight, you're worried, right? You have that low self-esteem, and you're not sleeping right, the inability to concentrate, because there are chemicals in the brain and hormones in the body that are imbalanced, right? So you're going to gain weight, the cortisol is going to increase, and you're going to get the spare tire going on in the body, in the midsection, right? Or you're going to get the extra cellulite on the back of the legs, right? Or you're going to get the back fat going on, because those are stressors that come from worrying, right? So you can tell if somebody's going through a great deal of worry, because they will have the sag of weight and the abdominal section. You can tell that they worry, and you can tell that they produce a lot of cortisol, and the cortisol is the fat. It's the fat accumulator, right? So it's what I like to call, if you can decrease the cortisol, the amount of cortisol you produce, you can lose weight. You can lose weight like that. So, wait a minute. If I stop worrying about stuff, I can lose weight. You're absolutely right. That is absolutely correct. You will definitely lose weight if, you stop worrying. It is just that simple. Because your body won't produce that cortisol. And it's tough, because a lot of the things that we eat, that's why you need a health and wellness coach, because a lot of people just don't know what to eat. They have no idea what to eat. They think chicken and broccoli is the only healthy food out there, and that's not it. Just because you see, the bodybuilders in the magazines or on TV, or you see a lot of the meal prep companies, a lot of the Instagram models, and weightlifters, bodybuilders, they posted meal prep and they got nothing but chicken and broccoli and rice in their meal plans. They think that, a lot of people think that, oh, well, if I have to eat healthy, the only way I can be healthy is to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. Well, that's why I don't like healthy food, because I got to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. And that's not, that's not necessarily true. Yeah, you can eat your chicken and broccoli, rice. That's good. But there's a lot of things that you can eat, right? And I'll discuss that in one of the, in ways that you can help, fight, battle depression. There's also, on the other side of that, there's also weight loss, right? I know for me, when I divorced, man, I lost weight. Like, I was I want to say 250. And when I got divorced, the first time, I lost weight. I lost almost a whole nother person. I think I was like 198, about 198 to maybe 205. I lost like almost 50 pounds. And it was hard. It was hard on me, man. And I was in a depression. All right. I was in, I wasn't so much as anxious, I wasn't worried about the future per se, but I was just depressed on, because I felt like it was my fault. And, I just felt like, what am I doing? I felt like a failure. I lost my family, and I just, like, you have all these, that negative energy just lingering on you, and it's just attached to you. And, all negative things that you can think about are coming. And, I worried about the safety of my children. I worried about, the safety of my wife at the time. And I was just like, I don't want to be divorced, because I don't want to, and at the time I was in the church, and I was climbing the church ladder. I went from a usher to a deacon. I began to minister and all that good stuff. And I was like, I don't want to lose my wife. I don't want to lose my wife and my family. Not only because, for my own personal reasons, but I wanted the congregation and my church family to know, that I was a squared away guy. I have an awesome family and an awesome wife. I was going to lose all that. I was going to lose all of that outer appearance, and I was willing to keep that, and just live life, in a depressed state, just kind of going through the motions, because, me and my wife didn't see eye to eye. So it's, so I know, I know what you're going through. So when I say I understand, I do understand. And, feelings of suicide are very real. Okay, very real. You take children from a man through a divorce, or children from a woman through a divorce, and you're going to experience some things that are, that you're going to have negative thoughts. You're going to have thoughts that are not too fruitful. Like I said, because I was in a really, really dark space when I went through that divorce. Man, it was tough. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know. I was just like, I don't even know, how do I function? Because I'd always been, we've been together for, almost 10 years. And I was like, I don't even know how, there's a lot. How am I going to carry on? I don't know how to not be with my children and my wife, but I had to, I had to go through that in order to bring an effective message to you, and how, and to relate better to you, I had to go through that. So I'm thankful for, what I went through, with my ex-wife, and hey, it was just a decision, that had to be made at that time. I don't blame her, I don't blame myself, but we had to go through that. And now, I think we're, better people. So when I say that this is temporary, or the things that you're feeling are temporary, guys, and there are ways to deal with it and cope with it, that's what I mean, all right? Because I've done it. I've been there, and I've been able to pull through, okay? So be mindful if you're having a fluctuation with your weight, okay? Now, this is onset. Like, if you're working out and you're doing your thing and you're eating right and you're losing weight, then, that's no concern to you. I'm not talking to you. But for those that are dealing with this, and that you may be battling depression, or someone that is, you be observant, just be mindful that fluctuating weight is something that you need to, is a red flag. And so you can, start kind of gravitating towards them and find out why, they may be, experiencing this weight gain or weight loss, okay? Especially when you can see that it's pure fat, like it's literally fat, like it's the hanging fat that because the skin is loosening, and there's an overwhelming amount of sugar that they're consuming because they're self-medicating with alcohol and maybe drugs, and these things are very toxic. And I'll go into how fat works another day. But anyway, just be mindful of that, okay? Because I'm running out of time, actually. So number 5, nothing is exciting anymore, right? So of the 6 ways to identify someone who may be battling depression, I need to fix that. I gotta. If you notice that they're usually excited to go out and have a good time, whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like for you, going out, having a good time, spending time with the family, going to the lake, and these, all these great things that you can do to make you happy per se, or things that you do, for activity purposes. That's weird. Okay. Things you do for activity purposes, and the person's just no longer excited about doing it anymore. They don't really want to go out, and onset. This is just all onset, and it's like, wow, all of a sudden, Marcus doesn't go out anymore. Marcus used to hang with us. He used to come to the lake with us. He used to go out, hang out at the bar or hang out at the club or go listen to jazz. He's not doing that anymore. I wonder what's going on. If you notice that, you need to make that phone call. Go knock on the door. Talk to him at work, or wherever you see him, at the store. Just let them know that you care, right? A lot of times, that's all. Letting someone know that you care is sometimes all that a person needs in their life. Like, that's all they need. That's all they want. And like, they will totally change their mind. It just that. I've dealt with some people, and they said, when you called me, I was just about to, make a decision that I wasn't going to be able to come back from, right? And you called and you listened to what I had to say. That has happened to me so many times, okay? And, whatever, it may not necessarily be suicide. Sometimes I don't even ask because, if I feel like it's a traumatic incident, I don't necessarily bring it back up or want them to go back through it. So I don't ask. I just kind of listen, with that non-judgment ear, and, just let them talk. Sometimes talking to somebody, showing that you care, and, giving them positive feedback is the answer. That's it. That's the end all be all. And they're like, I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad you picked up the phone. I'm so glad you called me back. I'm glad you asked how I was, and we don't do enough of that, and we need to do that. I mean, just be concerned. You're just showing concern. So just, hey, it's always ask, hey, is everything going okay? Is anything you want to talk about? I'm here. I'm just letting you know I'm here. If you ever want to talk, you need to vent, let it out. I'm here for you. And a lot of times that can help out, guys. Right? So, if they're not excited, especially one of my main things that I pinpoint in if I'm dealing with a client that's experiencing these things is sex drive, right? Because sex is one of those things that it's a pretty good gauge of how people are, especially if they're in a regular relationship, right? Or they're in an intimate relationship. You can pinpoint something that may be going on, whether it be health-wise or emotional, physical, whatever, by asking how the sex drive is. No, I'm not. Well, I take that back. Don't be asking people how's your sex drive, okay? That's what I ask when I'm dealing with my clients, but you don't ask them about their sex drive. Okay, so if you yourself experience, all of a sudden you have this low sex drive, or and sex isn't exciting to you anymore, that is something that you need to pay attention to, right? You're just not aroused anymore. You're not. Things aren't happening the way that they're supposed to. For women, there's a lack of excitement on your end, and for the male side, there may be erectile dysfunction, that you notice, and then for women, there may be, the lack of lubrication, those are just symptoms of things that you can, wow, this used to happen. Now, there's all kind of things that go on, but if the sex drive is affected, those are things that you need to look out for. So just keep in mind, that's something big, and it's definitely something that can be dealt with, or needs to be dealt with. Some attention needs to be brought to that. Okay, and let me see. Oh, okay. And number 6, excessive drinking, right? A lot of times, just out of the blue, someone, they go to the, you go to the bar with them, you hang out, if that's your thing, right? But now, instead of 2 drinks, they're getting like 5, 6, right? Or they're getting shot after shot, right? And you're like, man, what is going on? Like, why are you drinking so much? Or you see them and they got the little flask and they're pouring something in the drink, every time you see them, or it's 8 o'clock in the morning and they done, they got the flask out pouring something in the coffee, and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Those are just things that you got to be mindful of. Just look out for, and it may not be a big deal. And I'm, like I said, none of this is a one size fit all. Okay. I just, from personal experience, I know that when I was going through a depression, I drank more than usual. And because that was something that I was using to self-medicate. And I don't know. And in my mind, I justified it because I'm like, I can drink if I want to. It's no big deal. And I'm not getting drunk per se. But I was drinking, maybe it was spurts that I was drinking every single day. Like I would have a drink, either a beer or I would fix myself some, Crown and Coke or cranberry and vodka every single day, right? And that's something that I didn't usually do. I didn't do that on a regular basis, right? So that was, for me, that was a red flag, and I had to be like, what, I need to stop this. Like, I got to stop, because if I don't, then, I'm going to keep spiraling and keep spiraling. And, after a while, I'm going to have help with, medical help, because my liver or my pancreas and things like that are going to, begin to be affected. Because when that onset kicks in and that acute, that acute disposition kicks in, and it's like, wait a minute, your body's like, wait, you don't even drink like this. Like, what are you doing to me? Right? And you'll knock your kidneys off just like that, because it's, after, for years, if you don't drink like that, and all of a sudden you just pick up this excessive drinking habit, your body's going to go into shock and be like, wait a minute, I got to protect myself, because I don't know this stuff that's coming in my body like this it's harming me, it's affecting me. So I got to figure out a way to stop this. This is not good, right? So your body will shut down to keep it, to keep you in. It'll go into survival mode to keep you protected. All right. So excessive drinking, if the drinking habits change or whatever, and they're drinking a lot more often, that's a red flag, and you need to, try to intervene any way that you can. And ways to battle, all right? Ways to conquer depression, okay? Got to make this quick, because I am over my time limit. I don't want to get a phone or miss a phone call. So, working out, okay? Working out will give you that dopamine and adrenaline rush that you're looking for. It will help you balance that need for excitement, right? You just got to get in the gym. Sometimes the biggest thing, the hardest thing to do is get to the gym, right? I know it sounds crazy, but driving to the gym is the most excruciating thing in the world when you already don't want to go. Trust me, I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. But workout, research dopamine and adrenaline, all right? And that gives you that feel good, exciting, want to beat your chest kind of feeling, all right? So do that. Make sure you get some kind of workout plan, work out for maybe 30 minutes. If you don't do anything but walk on the treadmill, just establish a pattern, build a habit of going to the gym. Just go there. Go there, walk on the treadmill or lift some weights for a little bit, and get you a good pump going on, and then leave, and then gradually increase your time, and gradually increase your weight, and gradually increase the distance that you walk or run. Okay. Get a consistent amount of sleep. All right. A lot of times when the sleep pattern is sporadic, you begin to not get that effective. There's like 4 or 5 levels of sleep that you have to go through to get that deep, rejuvenating sleep. All right. And that's what you want. All right. So make sure you are sleeping at a consistent time every day. If you go to bed, if you get home 6 o'clock, cook you something to eat. By 7 o'clock you're eating. Take a shower, go to bed 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whenever. Do that on a consistent basis. If 9 o'clock is the time, go to bed at 9 o'clock every single night. Okay. That way, you will establish a pattern, and your mind will kind of reset back to the what's that called? Your biological clock, your circadian rhythm, right? It may be off a little bit, and it may be a simple fix to just go to bed at the regular time, at the same time every day. All right. So do that for a couple of months. Go to bed at the same time every single day, and I think that situation will improve. All right. Now, the way that you eat, you want to start going back to a plant-based form of eating. All right. Your meal plans need to be plant-based. And this will be temporary. I know, because I know everybody's not a vegetarian or vegan or anything like that. But for the next month, you want to eat 90% plant-based. All right. So get a lot of salads in, and the deep green leafy vegetables like the collard greens, the mustard greens, spinach, kale, things like that. You want to eat a lot of that, for the next 30 days, all right? And that'll help you cleanse the body, right? Drink plenty of water, right? Because those greens are going to pull impurities out of the body. And if you're not draining those impurities, it'll kind of make you nauseated, right? That's that sick feeling people have when they say, oh, when I eat healthy food, I get sick. It makes me sick. It makes me go to the bathroom. It makes my stomach hurt. That's because your body's cleansing itself. It's detoxing. That's what it's supposed to do. So no, you're not getting sick. It's what your body's supposed to do. It's going to clean out. Eating salads and eating healthy is going to clean your body out. All right. So you're not getting sick. All right. So get that out of your head. I mean, people say that all the time, but that's not true. So plant-based, meal plan is what you want. All right. If you need one of those, reach out to me. I can help you with that. All right. And meditation. The last one is meditation. Okay. Meditating is not, people floating on with their legs crossed, Indian style, and with their hands together, floating up in the air. It's not that at all. Meditation is something completely different. And research it. Look up some ways to meditate. I like to meditate with earphones in. I'll go to YouTube and I will type in, meditation music, and I will listen to, maybe an hour-long meditation or a 30-minute long meditation. You can type in 15-minute meditation music, right? And, there's a lot of choices will pop up, and you click on one of those and listen to it, all right? So get your workout plan going on. Get some sleep consistently at the same time every night, right? Get the plant-based meal plan and meditate. Okay, guys? That's all I have. So let me check the comments real quick. Okay. All right. That's all I have. Remember, I will be available until 2 a.m. tonight. If you call me after that, I will, and I don't answer, please leave me a message. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you reach me tonight, I will stay up with you as long as I possibly can. But keep in mind, if you call me during the day, I am a realtor and a life coach. I do have clients that I work with. So if I'm on the phone, please leave me a message or send me a text message. I will call you back. All right. If you have the desire to donate, somebody asked me in my inbox, how can we donate to you? I said, I donate to I Speak Foxy, which is an organization that caters to women who have, men and women, as well as children, who have experienced sexual violence or sexual assault. Okay. She provides toiletries for them. She provides clothes. She does classes. And a lot of these things she pays for with her on her own dime. And, but hey, it's an organization that is trying to make a change, and I'm all for anything that helps anybody out. So that's who I donate to. So if you have a desire to donate, please feel free. And that's it. Went over a little bit, but I thank you so much for staying with me and hanging in here with me. Hey, live life to the fullest. All right, live like there is no tomorrow. Do not forget about tomorrow. I will be back on at 12 a.m. I will see you there. Remember to share this video. All right, comment, YouTube, subscribe. All right, and that's it. Y'all take it easy, man, and try not to do too much. Peace. Live life.